The reason why you come to a micro brand for a dive watch is because you get a lot for your money. You get a ton of specs for just a little bit of money. Phoibus are one of those brands, and they are constantly improving. They constantly come out with new iterations of their watches, and they make improvements along the way. They listen to the audience, and they add and subtract depending on the feedback. Today we have an incredible dive watch that's just over $300. You're getting 300 meters of water resistance. It's on a bracelet, it's robust, it gets tons of lume, and it's good looking. So let's flip the camera and take a look at the newest Phoibus, the Proteus. So back when I started collecting about 20 or 25 years ago, the idea of a $300 300-meter dive watch was almost impossible to find, especially if you wanted something that was automatic. But today, it's a little bit more commonplace because of micro brands, and some of them are actually making very high quality 300-meter dive watches at that price point. And I bring up the price immediately because, as I say in a lot of videos, that's a major selling point for this watch. So it comes in the normal Phoibus packaging. This is an outer cardboard box. Inner box is sort of a travel box, but not really. You also get warranty information and a booklet here. There's a warranty card, all of that good stuff on the side there. And here is the watch. So immediately when you look at this watch, it is a 300-meter dive watch. The first few things that you're going to notice is this is blue on blue. So you're getting a blue ceramic bezel that is glossy. So it does give you a little bit of bling to it. And then you have a really nice sort of sunburst matte dial on here, and it's in blue as well. You get a very nice white track, and you have those Fang applied indices. All of that is filled with lume. You're getting 15 layers of lume on here. It's C3 on the upper dial, and then BGW9 on the hands, indices, and the bezel markings. So you're getting 15 layers across the whole entire watch, which is a lot. So liberally applied, the Loom Shot on this will be very good. Do you like watches? Are you like me? Do you never stop talking about watches? Is your family sick and tired of hearing you talk about watches all the time? Well, if so, you're in luck. WatchCrunch is a new platform for people like you and me. A safe place where you can talk about watches without all the BS that you find on other platforms. So if you're looking to talk about the latest releases from your favorite brands, or maybe you want to talk about the differences between the Valjoux 7753 and the ETA 2824, then you found your new home. WatchCrunch is free, easy, and troll-free. Check out the link in the description below to find one of the recent threads that I started on WatchCrunch. Come join the discussion and me on WatchCrunch.com. You get the logo there. Again, the octopus, which I really like. This is a 300-meter dive watch. So you get a screwed-in crown, screwed-in case back. NH35 is powering this watch, or NH36. I don't remember. It's a 35, I believe, because you have the date right there. And the date is obviously in a white color. It replaces the index that would be at the 3 o'clock, sort of balancing out the one at the 9 o'clock. You get a little bit of red on the second hand. Now the second hand is an arrow hand, but it's also a lightning arrow hand, sort of like a Milgauss, which is what they went for here. All right, not bad. I'm not sure why it fits in with the theme of a dive watch, but I think it looks good. And it's really not that noticeable, so only when you're looking at the watch very closely will you notice that it's a lightning rod. It looks good though, it's kind of cool. The crown is extremely grippy. It has a really nice sort of cross knurling on it, and it's very, very grippy. Of course, signed again with that octopus. Then you get that octopus on the back of the case as well. Really nice case back on here. Very nicely etched. You have polishing and brushing, 300 meters and Phoibus. That's all it says on the case back. I think that looks good. They did not go with the entire spec sheet like a lot of brands do. They didn't put sapphire crystal on here or any of that. I like that. It looks good. Of course, you're getting a sapphire crystal, but they just didn't have to put that there. It's a domed sapphire crystal. It's just slightly domed. Does add to the thickness of this watch, and it is a thick watch. We'll do measurements in just a second. But you can see from the case profile, a lot of inspiration from Seiko, the Shogun, and the Samurai, of course. You have those angled lugs. You have a chamfered edge that goes across that is polished. brushing on the sides, and the other side of the watch you can see same treatment. Really nice. And then you have a really nice polished bezel. So the tip of the bezel is polished on the side. It is brushed. Also very grippy. So let's do bezel action very quickly. Feels really good. Doesn't sound very loud, but it feels very nice, and the action's very good. Bracelet is sort of an oyster style bracelet, but it reminds me a lot of what Zellos do with the hammerhead. It's sort of a oyster bracelet, but you have sort of beveled edges on it. It's all brushed, so the entire thing is brushed. You have screwed links. The buckle is probably the only point on this watch that isn't so great. I wish they went with their single fold over clasp, which I really like. This one has the Phoibus logo right there, but it's really a generic buckle. You do get 4 positions of micro adjust, obviously no on the fly micro adjust. I would have liked to see something on the fly. I always say this in every single review that I do. However, considering that this is a $315 watch, really not that bad, and you're getting 300 meters of water resistance and ceramic and tons of Loom, you know, definitely forgivable. But let's do really quick measurements on this watch. It's a true 42 millimeter watch. So it measures exactly 42 millimeters. The crown is big and very nice, very grippy, 6.9 millimeters. And then at the lugs, we're getting a measurement of around 48.8 millimeters is what I'm getting. And then at the male end link, so you're getting male end link, so the effective lug to lug is around 53 right there. And then the thickness. So the thickness, this is a thick watch, but it is a 300 meter watch. 14.1 millimeters. You're getting a dome sapphire crystal, so that does add to the thickness. At the bezel on this watch, because I think that's really what it wears like, more a 41 millimeter watch, and that doesn't surprise me. So it does wear like a 41 millimeter watch, in my opinion. So anyway, very quickly, let me throw it on my wrist. You guys already know the price. Good looking watch. I think they're sort of trying to compete with the hammerhead here a little bit, and they're definitely a lot of styling similarities, but that's because I think both of those watches, this watch and the hammerhead from Zellos, are sort of styled after the Shogun, styled after the Samurai. They take inspiration, but they haven't really copied those watches, so definitely a little bit of inspiration there, but a lot of its own sort of appeal as well. So very quickly, let me show you the watch I have in my wrist. Today I am wearing my Mad 1 Red, which just came a few days ago, and I have been wearing it basically non-stop since I got it. They actually sent me a strap because the strap that they gave me did not fit me, and then they sent me another strap that didn't fit me, so then I had to mix and match, so it's a long story, but I have a very odd sized wrist, I guess, 7.5 inches, 7.5 inch wrist, but seems like I can get fits with everything else. I couldn't get a fit with that watch. But here you go, 7.5 inch wrist. This is a 42 millimeter watch at the case, 41 millimeters at that bezel, almost a 53 millimeter lug width with the effective lug around 48.8 on the case itself. So on a bracelet, this wears like a 53 millimeter watch. On the strap, if you want to put this on a strap, would wear like a 49 millimeter lug to lug. Other than that, I think it wears like a 41 millimeter because it definitely wears a little bit smaller than its dimensions. And overall, I really love the bracelet on here. I think they do a really good job. The quality of this watch is very, very good. Much higher quality than its price point of $315. The only complaint that I have about this watch is the buckle on the bracelet. The bracelet I think is really great. It's just that the buckle is a little bit generic. And I would have liked their single fold over clasp, which I think is really nice from Phoibus. I've experienced before. Looks really good and works really well as well. Of course, they don't offer micro adjust on that. I hope eventually they do. There you go. Very quickly, let's do a loom shot because 15 layers of C3 and BGW9 on here, this should be a pretty good loom shot. So the chapter ring is loomed, really good loom on here. Obviously you have a little pip, that's a little circle, sort of a bullseye at the 12 o'clock on the bezel. Everything else is loomed. Then you have that loom chapter ring, the indices are loomed, the hands are loomed, you have a little pip on the second hand and that little red arrow. Everything looks really good, very crisp, very liberally applied with loom. Well done. Obviously, for $315, the amount of loom that's on here is very expensive. I always talk about how expensive loom is. Obviously, not skimping here, and Phoibus did a very, very good job. Excellent price, $315 for this watch. If you're looking for something that is rugged, robust, this is it. This is a really nice watch. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog, all one word. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.